people.
Their stories made headlines.
I'll go out and people will be like, "You weren't on television. Sweetie, you look fantastic."
As their addiction shocked the world.
They're gonna think we're stealing.
No, they're not. We're gonna buy it.
Find out who's transformed their lives.
After the last day of filming, I had it set in my mind that I was gonna stop.
And who's spiraling out of control.
After the show, Samantha continued and even more.
Plus, exclusive never-before-seen footage.
One thing that didn't air on the show was I did have an incident.
And jaw-dropping new updates.
I mean, no one would think that I was gonna eat my bras.
So, just where are they now?
Can I tell you something that I haven't shared with you?
I'm crying.
It's all next.
I'm happy to see you guys again.
Keisha was one of the show's most talked about guests. Her addiction to eating toilet paper began in the 6th grade. But is she still engaging in this potentially deadly behavior?
Seeing myself eating toilet paper on TV, I can understand how some people say, ew, you eat toilet paper because it's not normal. Some people have asked, do it have a taste? Toilet paper does not have a taste. It does not fill me up. I don't eat it because I'm hungry. I just like eating it. A couple of days before the show aired, I emailed all of my friends and let them know that I was going to be on My Strange Addiction. I answered all the crazy questions. So when the show did air, it was a big load off of me. I felt like I didn't have the secret anymore. I wasn't hiding it.
During the show, we saw Keisha eat toilet paper everywhere.
I carry it with me in my purse. When I'm in my car, I keep a roll in my glove compartment box, and I'll just grab the toilet paper and break it off and start eating it. A good place where people really don't pay attention to you eating toilet paper is the movie theaters. It's dark in there, so you can like sneak a couple of sheets in with no one even noticing. I think I crave it because I love the way the toilet paper feels on my tongue, how it dissolves when it hits my tongue.
Every time you seen Keisha, she would have tissue in her hand, and she would try to hide it behind her back, and if you tried to take it from her, she'd get upset. I've never been able to understand why she eat tissue, and I never will.
I know that eating toilet paper is crazy because you're not supposed to digest tissue, you're supposed to use it for other things.
That can clog your system up.
No, it can't.
Yes, it can.
It's not like I'm balling it up and just stuffing it in my mouth. I'm taking like pieces.
But don't you think those pieces add up?
It dissolves and breaks down.
How you know that? It dissolves and breaks down in septic tanks and stuff like that, not your body. You never know. It may kick in when you 40. You like, what the hell is going on with my body? They gonna say all that damn tissue ate.
With addictions like drug addictions, when they stop doing the drug, they get away from the drug. There's no escaping toilet paper. Before I started filming for the show, I never really thought about what the toilet paper was doing to me. When I met with a psychiatrist on the show, she opened my eyes up. She did let me know that I could be hurting myself.
If your intestines rupture inside of your abdomen, that could be fatal and could be fatal pretty quickly. You know, as a medical professional, I can tell you that you're putting your body at risk and really playing Russian roulette with your life.
My mom says my inside is gonna bust, so I guess that's what she means. Is there any warning before that happens?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
When I left from seeing the psychiatrist, I went home and I stacked up how much tissue I eat in one day, and it really made me sad, and I just started crying because I couldn't believe that I was putting that much tissue in my system every day. It's a lot of tissue that I've been eating for like so long.
Despite this breakthrough, Keisha has not returned to the psychiatrist. But is she still addicted to eating toilet paper?
Once the show wrapped up, I didn't eat tissue for a whole week, but since then. I somehow picked the habit back up. I don't even remember picking it up, but my daughter noticed, like, Mom, you're eating tissue again. And I was like, oh yeah. When we first taped, I was eating close to half a roll of tissue a day. Now I'm probably down to 3 or 5 squares of toilet tissue a day.
Has anyone recognized you since the show?
Oh my gosh, everyone. Little kids, everyone.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What do they say?
You that lady that eats toilet paper.
I can't stop her from eating it, but she cut back a lot.
Jennifer can't stand that I eat the toilet paper. Every time we go shopping together, I'll try to sneak in toilet paper and she has a fit. We're gonna get these. This new, I never saw this one before and I want to try it. They're gonna think we're stealing.
No, they're not. We're gonna buy it.
So you cannot eat it. You are so gross. I would say it's a good thing her being on the show and getting help because now she sees that it's more serious, but she's still eating tissue. I thought we got you help. And you're eating it right now. It's like
Just a little. I feel a little shame because I promised my children that I would stop doing it, and I still do it. So I don't want to feel like I'm disappointing them, so I'll hide it from them now. I'm not sure what the future holds for me when it comes to eating toilet paper, but I do hope I will stop soon.
Coming up.
I literally had teeth falling out, bridges that I had repaired myself at home.
Crystal promised to quit eating cleanser, but could she do it?
It was like I was having an affair with it because I was eating it in bathroom in secret.
Plus, Lori reveals a tragic accident.
All I could think of was I just got lucky all of those 24 years.
And later, a shocking admission.
One thing that didn't make it on the show is the fact that I take my cushion and I roll it in dirt.
When we last saw Crystal, she was eating cleanser up to 10 times a day. After 30 years, the cleanser addiction had destroyed her teeth. But was that all the damage it had done? And is Crystal still addicted?
When I think about the fact that cleaners like that are meant to clean sinks, household items, not human beings, it makes me sad that I did that to myself. I first started using the cleanser to clean with, and I would start smelling it. It would actually make my mouth water. I would put some in my hand and mix it with the water and make it into like a thick paste. Then slowly through time, it just progressed to just eating it dry. In retrospect, it was shameful. It was frightening. Had I not contacted the show, I probably would have never went to a dentist again. I literally had teeth falling out, bridges that I had repaired myself at home. The destruction in my mouth was so pervasive.
But on the show, Crystal did visit a dentist to see what damage the cleanser had done. And the results were shocking.
The bad news is all the teeth on top need to come out. There's no saving any of them. Okay. The good news is that we can save some on the bottom. We prepared a treatment plan for you. Whenever you're ready to begin.
Oh, okay.
It's $19,000 worth of damage and repair that the cleanser addiction has done. If you can commit to me that you're going to stop eating the cleanser, I would like to do this work for you for free. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Crystal was overwhelmed by the offer. But could she break her addiction after 30 years?
The moment that I told my daughter Jennifer that I was eating the cleanser, I really think I was in shock. I was frightened of her reaction. You know, you are one of the most important people in my life. And I have been eating this household cleanser.
What?
It's creepy, I know.
Kind of blindsided me, Mom.
I know.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Sorry.
I think the person you need to be apologizing to is yourself. Maybe I need to matter to me more than I do.
But would that emotional confession be enough to make her stop?
The last time that I put it in my mouth was on film, and I have not put it in my mouth since. I quit on the spot right there that day. And I am so proud to say that at this point in my life, I have been free of a nasty, horrible addiction for 6 months, and I will never do it again. It was a long, arduous process. It was painful, it was scary, but I got there.
Knowing she had quit for good, Crystal returned to the dentist.
It took 20 visits, and some of those were surgeries to see the smile that you see today. How have you been?
I've been fantastic.
Good.
Long time no see.
Good.
It's like you live here. Okay. I'm gonna take a peek. Go ahead and put your head back. Okay, let's take a peek. And bite down for me. Things look beautiful. They look really good. Do you remember the first visit here?
Oh, yes.
The progress that you've made over the visits has been remarkable. From that first visit when you didn't think that you could handle it to now, it's amazing.
You changed my life, really. You know, I
helped you, Crystal. You changed your own life. You did it. Can I tell you something that I haven't shared with you? You've made a difference in my life.
Really?
You want to know how?
How?
Because you have been an inspiration to me that 3 of my colleagues and I, dental colleagues, have started a charity called She Dentist, where we donate dental services to underprivileged children and abused women who otherwise can't receive dental care. And it started with you. You were an inspiration to us.
Thank you.
And you've done amazingly well.
Thank
and I'm very
you.
proud of you. I'm very proud.
I adore you. Ending my relationship with this cleanser, it was like breaking up with a bad boyfriend. Felt good shedding that weight. Healing came for me in a lot of different ways.
Wouldn't it be lovely to write down your experiences so someone else doesn't have to go through what you went through?
You know what? If one person wouldn't have to go through what I went through, it'd be worth it. The therapist had suggested that I begin to journal and pour these feelings, thoughts, fears, all of this out, and actually gave me the journal to start writing in. So I'm just finding a different outlet for the same issues. I have been to a doctor and had complete physical blood work, x-rays, the whole 9 yards, and all is good in the hood. When I think about eating a household cleanser for 30 years, I feel very, very fortunate, very, very thankful that I am alive. I don't know how else to say it. It was time to stop. It was humiliating to reveal to the world what I was doing. That's embarrassing. I did it because I know that there are other people out there abusing themselves, and if it helps one person, then it's worth it.
Up next.
There's no need to be jealous because you'll always be my wife.
Will another woman threaten Dave Katz's marriage?
It will more than likely double the sex. No, that's a lie. It will double the sex.
Then, Lori fesses up to her friends.
When you brought that up, I almost wanted to slug you in the arm.
You went crazy.
And Adele tells us how things went from bad to worse.
I was rushed to the emergency room. They were like, call the surgeon in and everything. It was really painful.
But is she still addicted? Most viewers were shocked to meet Dave Katz's wife. Her name is Shidori, and they've been together for over 10 years. She's also a doll. But is she still his only love?
Sweetie, and you want me to update your Twitter now that the film crew's here? Or you want to do that later when they're gone? Okay, we'll wait. Originally, I was like, wow, this is something, wow, they're beautiful, and wow, you can actually have sex with them. That's even better. That's, you know, it's a perfect dream right there. And that is admittedly one of the major reasons why I bought her. Shidori has several nicknames. I really just stick to like either Shi-chan, which is basically, chan is the Japanese way of saying young miss. So you take the first syllable and you truncate it. So there you go, Shi-chan, Shidori-chan. And the miss is, of course, because, well, we're married. As always, sweetie, you look gorgeous.
But at the end of filming, Dave Katz placed an order for a second doll. Can Shidori no longer satisfy her husband?
Watching this show, seeing, this man who's me, with this doll who's Shidori, it's actually pretty cool. There's a tremendous amount of love there. She's not awake right now because, basically she kept hitting the snooze button, so it's just like, just let her sleep. It's not even worth getting her out of bed at this point. The whole interaction on a day-to-day basis, along the lines of like getting her dressed, brushing her hair, things of that nature, brings us closer together as a couple. Sweetie, you look fantastic. That's the thing. Television, for organics, I guess, adds 10 pounds to their weight. And you look even more pale than usual, which is fantastic. The reason why Shidori and I did the show really is to get the word out there about having a synthetic partner is really not that unusual. It's not that big of a deal. People need to get ready for this sort of thing because, well, it's inevitable. Your move. Take your time. Take your time. I think that night it was aired, I got 200 new followers on Twitter. The missus got like 150. Still getting email to this day. Let's see what we've got. This is the first one to some German bloke, apparently. Want to know how much you weigh.
Shidori's petite frame weighs a full 80 pounds. But don't expect to run into her on the street. Her protective husband still keeps her inside.
I'll go out and about and people will be like, weren't you on television? I'm like, yes, I was. Yeah, we saw you on TLC. Yes, you did. Can I have my photo taken with you? Yes, you can. I mean, I'm not annoyed by when people do this. It's just so alien to me. It's just that I don't really consider myself a celebrity. Shi-chan considers herself a celebrity. Yes, we have been contacted more and more, really, by people who want to do like photo shoots with us.
Right, you just get a little bit closer.
Hang on. Her joints are still stiff because her current body is only a year old. The more the motion occurs, the more the joints get loose. And then there's that point of no return where it's just like, well, she's not so good for posing. She is good for other things.
Kitty, how do you feeling?
Well, I think this is pretty neat. Shi-chan seems to be enjoying it. She's not had any complaints. As talkative as she is on the internet, she's not very talkative at all, like when people are around. Since the show, our relationship really hasn't changed, to be honest. I mean, we are still extremely supportive of each other. I love her completely and utterly, and she's exactly the same way about me. Shi-chan actually really enjoys foot rubs. That's probably one of her favorite things in the world. She thinks her feet are like one of her best and cutest assets, and I'm inclined to agree. I think people think having synthetic partners is strange because it's just so out of their realm of possibility. That's, for instance, why I had the psychologist come around and I spoke with him for a bit.
Is there a part of you that thinks this is peculiar?
I just think it's a matter of time before more people are choosing the synthetic option.
Dave, she can't see.
Yeah.
And she can't hear.
Yes.
One of the most fundamental elements of an addiction is it provides relief from pain.
Yes.
What's the pain here?
The pain, I would have to say, would be loneliness, really.
It makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. And it's fulfilling for you.
Exactly.
And it doesn't hurt anyone.
Exactly.
So knock yourself out.
Yes.
I get it.
The relationship I have with Shi-chan is for my happiness. If I play along and pretend that she can see, she can hear, that sort of thing, well, if that's what makes me happy, that's what makes me happy. So I really see no reason to change.
But is change coming? Does Dave Cat crave a second companion?
I placed an order at the tail end of last year for a second doll. Her name's going to be Elena Vostrokova. Shidori is the wife. Elena is the live-in girlfriend. It'll be a modern family. A lot of people have asked, how will you feel with having a second doll in the house? Will there be jealousy, fights, that sort of thing? Shidori is ecstatic. I mean, she's bisexual for one. I've gotten her permission. Shi-chan's gotten my permission, that sort of thing. So a relationship with a doll is as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. As we've discussed, I will have a relationship with Elena as well. It will more than likely double the sex. No, that's a lie. It will double the sex. But there's no need to be jealous because you'll always be my wife. That's why we got the rings.
But production delays have slowed Elena's arrival and frustrated Dave Cat. A friend dropped off another doll so Shidori can get used to a new woman in the house.
It's nothing sexual, it's all above board. But at the very least, I get a sense of what it's like to have two dolls in the same apartment. Hey, sweetie? Well, I'm sure you remember Bee. She's actually out in the living room, so you get to meet her, and try not to get jealous or anything, or, start fights, because it's not how we treat guests. Promise me. All right. Ladies, good to finally get two of you in the same apartment. This will be cool. B was a fantastic guest. She had actually brought food and trinkets. Nice. Oh, matching earrings too. Well done, B. Thank you. I like that. Oh, nice. Disco bracelet. I like that. That's very mod. Thank you. These are awesome gifts. I think the lunch went fantastically. The thought of having two incredible synthetic ladies in my life fills me with joy. When Elena arrives, you have to rotate between, like, you know, the bed and the couch. So you said you were cool with it, so I'm holding you to that. I should have you write that down. I'm comfortable the way I live and with who I live with. The fact that, like, I'm as lucky as I am to have a fantastic, loving, synthetic wife and who is going to have a fantastic, loving, synthetic girlfriend. That's something I'm very happy about.
Still to come, Lori shares some never-before-seen footage.
One thing that didn't air on my episode was the blow dryer smashing party.
Then, Samantha's tanning addiction takes a dark turn.
After the show, Samantha continued to tan even more.
I like how it makes me feel. I like how it makes me look.
And later, Adele reveals her new obsession.
So I started getting my bras, because that's got, you know, cushion in it too. They're padded.
Who can forget Lori from Austin, Texas? She's slept with her blow dryer for 24 years. The low hum and constant heat bring her comfort, along with the risk of burns and fire. Is Lori still addicted to sleeping with her blow dryer?
There is absolutely an emotional dependency on my blow dryer. It is psychological, it's emotional, it's mental. There are definitely a couple of rules with sleeping with blow dryers. Number one, you never put a blow dryer underneath the covers. It has to have some type of circulation. Also, you never put anything on the back of the blow dryer. That's where the intake of air comes in. Heat settings are really important, and I learned that the hard way many, many times. Typically, my nightly routine is to get up underneath my covers, turn on my blow dryer on low, and just curl up next to it, feel it on my hands. If I'm cold, I put it on my feet, and then I zone into the sound of it.
When I see scars on her arms and scars on her chest and whatnot, that's a problem.
I had a really, really bad burn incident where I had like 6 or 7 major blisters. And I woke up and it was just like the blow dryer had just attacked me that night.
While burns from blow dryers are painful, a tragic event reveals the damage can be much worse.
The day that my episode aired, there was a very unfortunate incident that made national headlines about a gentleman in Virginia and his daughter who died in a blow dryer misuse accident. His mattress caught on fire and, him and his daughter both died. It just struck home and I felt so horrible and so bad. And all I could think of was the fact that I felt like I just got lucky all of those 24 years.
Lori may have escaped serious injury, but she did have some close calls.
One thing that didn't air on the show was I did have an incident where it fell on the floor, and it was really scary. My blow dryer fell off my bed and went face down in my carpet. It was a really hot blow dryer with no heat setting. And it went down face down in my bed and burned a hole straight through my carpet and padding all the way to the cement on the ground. So,
oh my gosh.
And my whole room went up, there was smoke and it set off my fire alarm.
But Lori isn't the only one battling this dangerous addiction to a blow dryer.
After the show aired, I think the most interesting part of it all, for me personally, was the blow dryer users coming out of the woodwork. I read on plenty of sites, plenty of internet sites, people saying, I'm so glad that she shared her story because I've been struggling with this too. One thing that really touched me was a letter. I am 55 years old and have slept with some sort of hairdryer since I was about 10. I didn't know that this was considered an addiction. I have had blisters on my hands, chest, arms. I don't remember why I started using a hairdryer, but I can't sleep without it. I was never embarrassed until now. I will be making an appointment to see someone about this behavior. Thank you for this program.
Lori's story resonated with viewers, But was she able to change her own life? Is she still addicted to her blow dryer?
I'm proud to say that as of today, I have been blow dryer free for 5 months now. It was a struggle. It's not something that I just did overnight, but meditation helped me, just trying to calm myself. And I got myself a little space heater instead. And it has different heat settings. And if it flips over, it shuts off. I did the show for a reason. I did it so that I could stop. And actually, it was more of a challenge. It was like, I figured, okay, well, when I tape the show, I'm still using my blow dryer. But by the time the show airs, I'm going to be done. And I was.
Do you remember on the last day of shooting our blow dryer smashing party that we had?
How could we forget the blow dryers? That was the best. One thing that didn't air on my episode was the blow dryer smashing party. Micah had this brilliant idea that we would go out and take my blow dryer and smash it.
I'm excited. Okay, you ready? Come on, Lori. Woo! This is it! Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks. I have to be totally honest with you. When you brought that up, I almost wanted to slug you in the arm. Because for the fact that this is it was a big part of me. In my heart, I was like, I don't want to slug.
But hey, you went crazy.
Yeah, I did.
There was obviously some hints of aggression there that you had towards that blow dryer.
Well, a lot of fun things have happened in my life since taping the show. My daughter got enrolled in a great school. She's blossoming. I got a new job. I had a good life before, but I have a great life now, and I couldn't be happier.
Just ahead, exclusive photos show that Samantha is darker than ever.
Look at this one right here.
This one here is amazing.
How much damage has she done to her skin?
No matter how much you preach to your children, they don't listen.
And later, Adele has nowhere to turn.
This is rock bottom for me right now. I do believe that I could die from this.
21-year-old Samantha started tanning when she was just 13. Despite the high risk of cancer, we watched her visit the tanning salon 3 times a day. Her family suggested she appear on the show because her addiction had spiraled out of control. But is she still addicted to tanning?
Growing up, I thought being pale was just, disgusting. It didn't look right. I thought you needed to be tan to be pretty. I got positive feedback from people. They'd always say, how'd you get so tan? Tell me your secret. I think I kind of really like that. So from that point on, I was like, I'm just going to keep tanning. I like how it makes me feel. I like how it makes me look. And I like the positive feedback I'm getting from it. My typical tanning day is going to 3 different tanning places, 20 minutes in the bed for an equivalent of an hour a day.
You're all set, room 14, center hallway. Thank you.
Is bed 3 okay?
Yep.
You're all set. My worst experience with tanning was when I had actually came out of the tanning salon and I was completely bleeding through my back and my bottom because I had burnt so bad that my skin actually broke apart.
Samantha admitted that her tanning addiction was taking over her life, but she didn't want to quit.
She could be out there from 7, 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, just laying out. She gets off the vegetable oil. She gets on my trampoline. She's out at the deck or in the pool tanning. You're gonna get old before you're supposed to.
That's why they have Botox, Mom. That is exactly why.
You're gonna have to have money for that.
I'm not really worried about the premature aging because that's why they have Botox, plastic surgery, facelifts, anything to enhance yourself, they have out there.
Do you go to the same place in one day?
Oh, you don't want to, so it's the law.
So you have to rotate around to get your tans in.
I mean, you should be pretty happy I'm not addicted to drugs or alcohol. I mean, I'm addicted to tanning.
After the show, Samantha continued to tan even more.
Yeah, probably just to show to herself and everyone, all of her friends and everyone that watched the show that, look at me, I'm just gonna keep getting dark as I can, I'm just gonna keep tanning.
Right.
Forget what everyone said, forget what my mom and dad said once again, I'm just gonna keep tanning.
And it was gonna prove to the world, I think, that, this show, this doctors, they're not gonna stop me. My parents are crazy.
Parents crazy, doctors crazy, everyone.
And then one day, a light bulb went off.
I looked in the mirror and everything was fake, from the hair to the makeup to the tan. I was thinking that, you needed to have this tan, this blonde hair, so pretty to look like a, whatever I thought. But I think that, just being yourself and waking up in the morning and being able to just, be happy with who you are is the most important thing.
But is Samantha still addicted to tanning?
People may not believe this, but I actually have stopped tanning. It's actually been 2.5 months just to maintain some sort of color. I just use a daily glowing moisturizer. I don't use it every day. Sometimes I actually forget to use it. Everyone tells me I still have color, and people still say, oh, you're tan. I'm just like, you should have seen me before. I think when I was tanning, I was in denial. When the dermatologist was talking to me, I was just being stubborn.
You've already developed signs of sun damage and also aging. I mean, you've got lines here around your eyes that are lines that people usually don't get until their 40s. So then we come down to your hands. If I look at your hands again, they look...
Like old people hands? I know.
They look like old people hands, exactly.
You had to point that out.
Looking back, I'm actually in shock. I can't believe how I looked. I actually think I look disgusting, and I can openly admit to that. I didn't look normal. When I decided I was going to stop tanning, it was cold turkey. My packages were expiring, and instead of going back, I just let them expire, and I never went back. At first, it was a struggle, but I quickly learned to just deal with it, and I actually liked how I started looking. Weird. You didn't even realize I was that tan, did you?
This one right here.
Yeah, this one here is amazing. I mean, look.
Isn't that disgusting, though?
Yeah, you thought that used to look good.
That's disgusting. That is bad.
Sometimes, no matter how much you preach to your children, they don't listen. They have to learn it themselves the hard way.
I, at one point, thought self-image was everything. I was insecure. I had no confidence. When I look in the mirror now, I'm happy with my color of my skin. People ask me why I'm smiling all the time now. I think there's a lot more to life. And when you figure that out, it makes you happier. And so now people are always like, they probably think I'm crazy because I'm always like, oh my gosh, just be happy. Things get better. I'm always saying that, and people are always just like, okay, what happened to Samantha? I'm the new and improved Samantha, and I'm proud.
Coming up, can Adele make a decision that'll save her life?
When I've done like a binge, I feel so crappy. Knowing what can happen is very scary.
Adele remembers eating her first couch cushion when she was just 10 years old. Since then, she's eaten it daily for the past 20 years. By the time she appeared on the show, her addiction had taken over her life.
So most people sit on the couch cushions. I, on the other hand, eat it and crave it. I'm addicted to couch cushion.
I love couch cushion. The way it sits in my mouth, it's soft and it's a good taste. The darker cushion, the yellow cushion that tastes better, it just has a stronger flavor. This is the damage that I've done so far. I have all this too, like all this is gone.
When I watched the show, it hit me pretty hard. I was just like, wow. It was really emotional, actually, watching myself do that, watching this addiction,
But it turns out that wasn't all Adele was eating.
One thing that didn't make it on the show is the fact that I take my cushion and I roll it in dirt. When I first started eating, like my first piece of cushion that I ever ate, it had a crunch to it, and so ever since then I've always tried to like find that, so I just, thought maybe if I roll it in dirt it'll be the same thing. I'll eat it without it, but not preferably. When I'm eating the cushion, I do have a lot of mixed feelings about it. While I'm actually doing it, it's pretty much pure satisfaction. When I get done, I've done like a binge, then it's like, I feel so crappy, like guilty. I'm like, man, I'm doing this again.
Adele's addiction weighs on her heavily, but can she change her ways?
All my life I've known eating cushion was bad for me. I've been scared to go to the doctors, I've avoided it. But on the show, I went to the doctors to get an upper endoscopy, and it was very embarrassing for me.
We're going to look down into her stomach to see if there's any retained cushion. And this is the inside of her stomach. Open, close, open, close. So this is all her small intestine right here. It all looks normal. There's There's no foam or anything in here. I still think we should get some further imaging. If it does ball up somewhere else, you're gonna get an obstruction somewhere.
Right.
We really need to get you focused on changing your lifestyle, okay?
After the last day of filming, I had it set in my mind that I was gonna stop. For some reason, I thought it was gonna be really easy, you know. It lasted probably about a week, then I started doing it again. About 2 weeks after, I was rushed to the emergency room for lower bowel obstruction. I was in the hospital for like a week and a half. I was a tube on my nose. I couldn't eat or anything. They were like, call the surgeon in and everything. So it was pretty scary. It was really painful.
After this life-threatening incident, was Adele finally able to stop eating cushion? Or is she still addicted?
Now, with the cushion, I'm eating more than I have ever in my life. Literally, like every 10 minutes, I'm eating it, just constantly.
Sadly, it's gotten far worse.
Since the show, I've kind of gotten a new thing that I added onto my ritual. I have this pink lotion, and so I'll get the cushion, put it in dirt, and then I'll put the pink lotion on it, you know, rub it in, and then I'll eat it like that. So it's just like cushion, dirt, lotion, eat it.
But there's still more to her troubling story.
When I got out of the hospital, I wanted to keep it from people that I was actually still eating the cushion because I was embarrassed. So I started getting my bras because that's got, you know, cushion in it too. They're padded. You know, I started eating that, and I messed up all my bras, like probably about 7 or 8 bras that I went through. This is rock bottom for me right now. I do believe that I could die from this. Knowing what can happen, it is very scary, and I really just want help. The only thing I can think of is to reach out to a therapist again and see if maybe, you know, that's an option.
There's 12-step programs out there that you can reach out to give to you the power and the ability to do what you can't do in and of yourself. Are you willing, and do you want to try something like this?
It's definitely worth a shot. I know a lot of people probably don't believe me because I'm still doing it, but I really want this done. I want it over with.
So I'm going to ask you, would you be willing today to put the couch cushion in the garbage with one hand while you're holding my other hand? Okay.
It's scary to let it go too, though.
I know. So as you place that in the garbage and let go, I'm going to hold your hands to remind you that you don't have to be alone anymore. Okay? All right. Here's where the hope is. It's reaching out for other people who understand the power of the addiction and the destruction of it.
Thank you.
My husband.
When I put the cushion in the trash, thought twice about like saving a piece, and I was like, no, you know, I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go, and that's not to say that I'm not gonna go home tonight.